The Incredible Hulk runs out of deodorant, will not be seen, in order that we may bring you the following hastily made-up program.
Hey everybody, what's up, and welcome back to Macabre'Gorium Labs presents Showcase of Things Likely Forgotten, Nickelodeon Edition. Bats here, and I hope you'll join me today as we pop, pick, flick, and scratch our way through today's topic with Nicktoons Foul Facts. Humans are gross, but this one's fun.
Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
For kicking off today's topic, we're going to have to start at the beginning by taking a look at Nickelodeon Australia, which we could cover if you guys show enough interest. Nickelodeon Australia launched on October 23rd, 1995 as part of the newly launched Foxtel and Austar cable counterparts. Now that we know that, we can move on to the year 2002 when Nickelodeon would premiere Foul Facts on Nickelodeon Australia. There were 10 total Foul Facts shorts, and they would re-air on Nicktoons in 2002 as well. The shorts would be approximately 1.5 minutes each, and they showed kids why being gross isn't exactly something you want to be. Now I know this doesn't sound like our normal Nickelodeon. After all, Nickelodeon is the place you go to get slimed. However, these foul facts were about hygiene issues and bodily fluids, so now let's take a look at the episodes. Episode 1, Burps. As the episode opens, the narrator explains that our bodies do amazing and entertaining things, one of which is burping. While the animation happens, the narrator speaks about a baby being burped and a dad burping after drinking soda. We are told that if you eat or drink too much too quickly, it causes gas in the stomach called aerophagia. The stomach then expels the air, causing the burp. The lesson being is that you should probably eat your food more slowly or risk embarrassment. Loud and proud, we say. Episode 2, Dandruff. In this episode, the narrator talks about feeling flaky or itchy and is going to give us the deal on dandruff. The animation shows a girl putting away her toboggan as it is not needed. The girl is covered with a white powder that looks like snow. But nope, it's dandruff. The narrator then says it comes from your scalp shedding in hyperdrive. However, it can also be caused by a common fungus called malassezia. It is explained that there are special shampoos that can treat dandruff. The lesson here is to treat dandruff quickly once detected. Episode 3, Earwax. The narrator notes that we will get all the gooey facts about earwax. Told you, humans are gross, but this is a good one. The animation shows that the wax being talked about isn't surfboard or car wax, but in fact the stuff in your ears. We also find out that it isn't really wax, but cerumen that accumulates. We then see that there are lots of foreign objects that can get into your ear. The cerumen attacks the foreign object before it has a chance to stay in the ear canal. It is naturally acidic to help fight fungus and bacteria, and gooey in order to trap enemy agents. The old dry earwax is ejected from the ear with all foreign objects collected to make room for new earwax to take its place. The lesson you could take away here is take care of your ears and understand how wax works for you. Didn't your mother ever tell you?
Wash behind your ears.
Episode 4, Farts. Farts can be funny and or embarrassing, but this episode lays out the facts. The narrator begins by letting us know that farts are not something to be embarrassed about, as everyone does it. The animation shows turtles, fish, and humans farting. It is explained that farts come from the gas produced in our blood and stomach from bacteria in our intestines, being made up of oxygen, nitrogen, methane, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. Farts get their smell from small amounts of hydrogen sulfide gas. Therefore, the more sulfur in your diet, the stinkier the toots. The lesson here is that farting is natural, but you should still exercise caution when out in public. Loud and proud, we say. Episode 5, Nails. In this one, the narrator explains that we are going to look into nails. Your nails are made up of the same things as bird feathers, horse hooves, and bull horns. The animation shows a kid pulling a hair out from his head, as it is explained that nails are made from keratin. which comes from the food we eat. Apparently, your nails grow approximately 3 centimeters a year, and fingernails grow faster than toenails. Another crazy fact is that boys' nails grow faster than girls' nails. There isn't so much a lesson to this one, but more of a cautionary tale about what would happen if you let your nails get too long. Episode 6, Scabs. The intro on this one is the narrator talking about lifting the lid on scabs. Scabs happen when you get a wound that breaks on the surface of your skin. They happen when blood and plasma move to the affected area and harden, thereby patching the hole. It also explains that you don't want to pick the scab off, as it stops bad things from getting into the body and stops blood from coming out. The lesson is, put band-aids over the scabs for extra healing and never pick off your scabs. Episode 7, Snot. The narrator uses a familiar activity, flicking boogers, to announce this episode is about snot. It goes on to explain that boogers are more than just a salty treat before lunch. Bear with me. Snot starts as just mucus designed to protect your lungs. The animation shows a girl trying to eat her booger, but the narrator keeps stopping her with facts about snot. You go, narrator. Working with the cilia in your nose, the snot stops germs, pollen, dirt, or dust, and they are stopped before they get further into your body. It shows that the caught object is then saved in the lungs and a booger forms. The average nose produces a cupful of snot every day, so boogers are made constantly. The lesson here is fairly simple. Don't eat your boogers. Episode 8, Spit. There's the standard narrator informing us that this episode will take a look at spit. The animation starts by showing that if you place food on a dry tongue, there will be no taste. It explains that spit helps savor the flavor and has enzymes that start to digest your food before it reaches your stomach. The spit actually cleans during sleeping. However, when we sleep, we actually have less spit, which causes bacteria to grow. This in turn causes stinky morning breath, but does have good uses too, like it can help you cool down as well. In fact, without spit, we couldn't taste, swallow, digest properly, and would always have stinky breath. So there isn't much of a lesson, but more of a like, spit is kinda cool promo. Episode 9,
Stinky feet.
Our faithful narrator explains this episode will be about stinky feet. The animation shows a girl on the swings with an odor coming from her feet. That's a twist. We learn that everyone has their own unique odor that leaves a trademark as good as a fingerprint. Apparently, sweat on your feet can actually eat away at the lining of your shoes if you don't wear socks. There are approximately 125,000 pores on each foot of an adult that can create up to 7 pints of stinky sweat in 1 week. Next we see a kid being told about how stinky feet can turn into a fungus that can dissolve skin on your toes. Never fear though, kids, there is a way to stop this. The lesson is, wear a fresh pair of socks every day and wash your stinky feet. And wrapping up this list, we have episode 10, Warts. As usual, the narrator comes in and we are told that this episode will be about warts. The animation shows a girl standing by a pond skipping a rock when a toad hops up on the grass near her. The narrator points out that toads have been the scapegoats for spreading warts. We are told that toads don't actually spread warts. He then explains that you actually get warts from a virus that thrives in warm, wet places like small cuts. The wart will form, but you shouldn't be scared, as a wart is just a bumpy piece of skin that anyone can get. Plus, they come in different colors. Collect them all. The animation shows methods to remove a wart through a doctor, which can seem scary. A doctor can use acid to burn them off, electrocute them, use lasers, or freeze them. The animation ends with the girls taking a toad to school to show him off. The lesson? Don't blame the toad.
Give up the toad now.
Thanks to you, and don't give it up.
I remember when Nicktoons Network came out in our area, and these were part of the shorts they played, along with several of the others. But I actually really liked these, because it was a gross, fun way to entertain and educate kids on some pretty important matters you need to know growing up. But now you know what I think? I've just got to ask. Did you ever watch the Nickelodeon Nicktoons Foul Facts? If so, which was your favorite of the 10 facts? If not, what was your favorite childhood snack, toy, show, movie, or other memory? Did we forget something, get something wrong, or leave something out? Do you have a suggestion for a future video, or maybe just want to drop in and say hello? Either way, feel free to head on down to the comments section, because most of the time, we're pretty interested in hearing from you. And unfortunately, with that, we've come to the end of another Macabre'Gorium Labs showcase of things likely forgotten, Nickelodeon edition. I'm Bats, and I hope you had a good time today as we took a look at today's disgusting topic with Nickelodeon's foul facts. Humans are gross, but this one was fun. Be sure to check back next time because you never know what we have in store. And as usual, think for yourselves. Be excellent to each other. Keep it creepy. And wash them stinky feet. Hey, if you made it to this point in the video, thanks for sticking around this long. And, leave a like or a comment and say hi. Tell us what you think. And we got a lot more of these coming up. And before I head out, a shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you guys. And, we'll see you in the next one. Keep it creepy.